Okay, I don't think there's anything wrong with paying the way that they want you to pay. Um, if it's by Visa card or whatever, just know that it's one step closer to the end of times. Um, it's one step closer to the mark of the beast. But I don't think there's anything wrong with paying that way. Although you need to realize probably that the word Visa spells out 666 in three different languages, which is interesting to note. Um, and the fact that they're taking the coins away is interesting to note too. It doesn't mean you can't pay with a credit card. I prefer Mastercard if I can though, but I've got a Visa card from my bank. Um, but it doesn't mean you can't pay that way. It just means it's one step closer. Um, Jesus in the Bible, he actually, when they came to tax him, he noticed he took money out of the fish's mouth and paid them with it. So he was using their money to pay them. So it's not wrong to use the Visa card, let's say, to pay somebody, but it's one step closer. So do be afraid, but don't be like, well, I'm not gonna do it because it's just gonna wind you up having a harder time, doing everything. If you're like, well, I have to have a Mastercard, or I have to pay with change if I possibly can, or trying to dig out methods to pay with change so they stay on the change because they're not going to stay on the change anyway. They're gonna eventually go to a currency where it's just Visa card or whatever, um, just basically RFID chip that's not in your body per se, thank goodness, because if it's in your body, that is the mark of the beast. But if it's not in your body, as long as it's in that Visa card, you're safe. But it's really scary to me because you can definitely see that they're moving that way. But that doesn't discourage. I won't discourage you from paying that way because Jesus Christ paid in a way that he was actually against because he said basically Caesar's name and superscription or whatever was on the coin that he was paying with. So he's kind of, I think he's showing us there to go ahead and go along with the government as long as you can, because you don't want to be against them. Especially, you don't want to be against them come time for them to put an RFID chip in you. You want them to understand that you have a differing perspective and that it's a biblical perspective, that it's against your religion to do that. But anyway, that's my thoughts on paying with Visa. Because at first with the Visa, I was scared, and I didn't want a Visa anywhere near me, and I didn't want Visa traveler's checks because the only type of check our bank did was a Visa traveler's check, and I didn't want anything with Visa on it because I knew Visa meant 666. But actually, now looking back on that, I think back to it, and I think I would have probably gone ahead and got those traveler's checks. It's not going to make a difference. They're going to take over the world regardless if you buy something with a Visa card or not. So.